Hallo miteinander, I'm Geshady6 and this is Toy Story. Last time we started our little intrigue against Buzz, and we're going to continue with just that. Look at Woody's evil grin, just like a real villain. And just like all villains, we're going to manipulate the people around us. In this case, our C-Car, who leads a sad existence of others always taking over his body and doing mischief with it. It truly is a sad fate. But nonetheless, let's start this level. It is a very harsh change of gameplay, you must admit. This has now become a racing game in the style of the Micro Machines games of the time. Controls for this part are very sensitive, and when I was a kid, it really took me a bit to learn this. However, looking back at it now, it's not all that bad. Your objective is to hit each and every one of those like 1,000 Buzz Lightyears and pick up his battery charge so you can replenish your own. If you run out of battery, you lose a life. Apart from that, you cannot take damage in this level. Even if you crash, that only will cost you time and you might spin a bit. So, what can I tell you about this stage? Whenever you see an arrow, let go of the accelerator and you should be able to take the turn no problem. And the most general hint I can give you is slow and steady wins the race. Even on the straights, there's no reason to drive too fast, because the only thing that can really hurt you all that much is crashing into objects and losing control. Something that happens very easily. And yeah, if you just drive carefully and responsibly, you're gonna be just fine. I mean, you don't see me rushing around here. Man, Andy's got a humongous desk. But it's a very short stage, but you have to beat it in one go. It doesn't have any checkpoints. No matter, it is done. I don't go back for stars in that level because that is just too risky. So, in the movie, as you might remember, Woody didn't actually hit Buzz with our C-Car. However, that caused a bit of a chain reaction and Buzz flew out the window. Unfortunately for Woody, there were witnesses. Yes, now all the toys hate Woody and they want to lynch him in the most brutal manner. Actually, they didn't. I think they just kind of scared him away, but no matter, now everyone hates us and our former friends have now become enemies. This upcoming level is kind of like the very first one. It is a very basic platforming level. Well, it does a few things. There's actually a lot of hidden stuff in it. But you'll see. In this part of the movie, the only toys that were kind of on Woody's side were Slinky Dog and Bo Peep. And Rex was kind of undecided as fitting for his character. However, Bo Peep and Slinky Dog are not in this game, even though they are not that minor characters, but yeah, now we only have Rex, who's still kind of neutral, so we have to help him, I guess. I don't know why. But yeah, the objective of this level is not to just get through it. We have to destroy the barricades that keep Rex from advancing. And to get to these barricades, we usually have to take the high route through the level. However, there's a lot of hidden stars in the level, and to get some of these stars, you will just have to hope for the best and take one or the other blind jump to get them. It is, well, the pinnacle of 90s video gaming, blind jumps. Isn't it great if you have to guess where platforms are, or if you crash into enemies that you couldn't even see before? Yes, they really don't make games like they used to. You know, those question mark balloons, I really hate them. There are a lot of them in this level and you might be thinking, question marks. Maybe there's power-ups in some of them. No, there are no power-ups at all in these balloons. And that is really mean. I feel kind of betrayed about that. But what can you do? Come to think of it, that leads me to my next point. In the Genesis version of this game, some of these question mark balloons actually do hold health pickups. Not in this version though. This one, there are just traps. There are a lot of minor differences between versions like that. Most of them are so irrelevant kind of that I'm really not gonna mention many of them, because I would really just start talking about Genesis this, Super Nintendo that, about every 2 minutes, so let's not. Instead I will restrict myself to the really important changes. There are a few of those, and they will be coming up. Nice, got an extra life there. You really shouldn't miss that. I'm not sure if you can miss that actually. I think it might actually be on the way. You remember what I said about those blind jumps? They're so great. That one, isn't it wonderful if you lose a life like that? It really keeps you going, doesn't it? But more about this level. One of the most interesting things about it is that there are a lot of unique enemies, like you just saw Mr. Potato Head. Our former friend now wants to hurt us. Every single one of these unique toys does, well, something unique. I think the most difficult to deal with might be Ham. He's coming up in a bit. The only thing I want to tell you about him now is that he can be quite a pig-headed fella. Badumshk. Now, I'm collecting a lot of stars. Even if you don't get all the stars in a level, you should always try to pick many of them up, because even if you don't get a prize at the end, if you collect 300 stars in total, you will get an extra continue in this game, and that is very useful. You're gonna want these continues. If you run out, you have to start all the way back from the beginning. And that was Ham, as you just saw, and he tries to kill you with money. Yes, money, because money hurts you in video games. That is one thing that I learned from Action 52. Something that these two games have in common. Money kills you. Luckily, that is the only thing that Toy Story and Action 52 have in common. Action 52 can be really educational, you know. When you're a game designer and you want to know exactly what not to put in your game, that's the right address, definitely. Now we're almost done with the level. Only thing that's left is Rocky, who really shouldn't be all that much of a problem, but I run into him very stupidly. But I still made it through kind of okay here. However, we're not really done with the whole escape from the bedroom scene. The next scene is very liberal in regards to the movie. We're gonna have to ride on Rex. Another very gimmicky level that, as I've said, wasn't like this at all in the movie. This level may give you some nasty flashbacks of Battletoads and its turbo tunnel, but don't worry, it's not nearly as bad. The biggest danger for you lies in RC Car, who will suddenly attack from behind. He's come out of his corner, wiped away all his tears that he couldn't actually produce, and is now out for revenge. So always watch out for him. We're on our last hit. We're no longer on our last hit, I should say. Come on, did you really expect me to make it far with that one hit? Nah, of course you didn't. Now, RC Car always attacks in the same manner. He comes from behind and then drives around a little. It's not easy. It's not hard to learn his pattern. However, just RC Car's overall presence makes this dangerous, because of him you've basically got to stay in the middle, and that gives you less time to evade other things. This is really just a level where you have to memorize a lot of things. If you don't, things like that happen. Gotta admit, I did really poorly on this run, for my standards. To be completely honest, it's probably poor for anyone's standards, but I don't mind all that much. This LP isn't about perfection, or bragging even. It's just about me showing you an unusual game in all its different colors. Now, these toy soldiers, I really don't know how they would be a hazard to Woody, but they just are. To evade them, you've really gotta take a big leap from the left side. The red planes warn you of them. They always come out of those. And yeah, that's pretty much all there is to this level. Oh, Did you see that? We hit 300 stars and got an extra continue. Very useful. Now, the next level is going to be another boss fight. And this boss fight was kind of a boss fight in the movie as well. Well, it wasn't really anything that serious, but still. Also, I really like this upcoming line. But we're not on my planet, are we? Unfortunately, Tim Allen is not in this game. Neither is Tom Hanks. However, Jim Hanks voiced Woody. So at least it stayed in the family. Now, Buzz Battle is a tricky fight. You cannot hurt Buzz with your pull string at all. However, the Etch-a-Sketch gave us a little bit of a hint. We're supposed to tire him out, as in make him exhausted, I guess. But what is this? We have a rubber tire. Get it? Tire him out? Ha! 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 The game made a pun. It was not a good pun, but that is not the point of making pun, is it? But to be fair, Jack and Jill would have wished it had that kind of humor in it. It really would have. I would have wished it had any kind of humor in it, but I digress. The most dangerous attack in this fight is basically, is definitely Buzz hopping or gliding around, what he would call flying. It's not all that hard to slip through, but after the 5th hop, Buzz will home in back to the right, and that can really hit you by surprise if you don't know that it works like this. So my hint for that is, after 3 or 4 hops, hide in the left corner, and you should be fine. Apart from that, jump over his tackles, and that's pretty much it. It will take you a while to get used to the how the tire works, but that's pretty much all that will be a problem in this level. So, that's it for this time. I'm Gish86, this was Toy Story, and next time, it's pizza time. Yes, we are going to the Pizza Planet. Bis bald!